Hey guys, thanks for stopping by the Fool Show. Of course, I'm Foolish Phil. Oh, it's come to that time of the week. Time to make my foolish predictions. Last week, not very good to be honest. I was 6-4 in my 10 picks last week. Not very good. Well, let's start off on the top. We'll go through the Big Ten and then move on from there. Obviously, Michigan over Western Michigan. I know some of these games, I try not to pick ones that are so obvious, but I gotta, pick Michigan games. So I think they'll win. I'm gonna go 38-17 is what I'm thinking they win by. I'm hoping Harbaugh gets some passion back in his players. I heard on the local radio show, I think they're right, going back to where JT had he was close in overtime, or he was stopped short, or he got it. After that game, Harbaugh, he got a couple unsportsmanlike penalties for throwing his hat and stuff like that. After that game, it's like he has not been the same passion. I think Michigan was 19-3 or something going up to that game, and since then they've been 9-9. So it's like something's just kind of wrong. I know Harbaugh was supposed to be, toning it down to try to keep, from getting himself penalties to hurt the team. But you need some passion. I want to see him get out there and throw his hat at a ref when it's terrible. Take the 15 yards. Most likely they're calling against you and they're getting a first down anyways. Throw your hat. Get some passion. I think there's just something been lacking a little bit with Michigan the last couple of years because of that. We'll see. I would love it if Michigan would, obliterate them. I don't know if we can. I don't know if we have the offense to do it. But, put up 50 points. If we can get 50 points, I'm ecstatic. Syracuse got 50 points. Come on. But I think Michigan will win 38-17 and not cover if you're a betting man. Now, otherwise, we got Northwestern over Duke. Northwestern looked really good at Purdue. They have their starting quarterback back. He got injured in the bowl game last year, and he came back. Their offense is really good with him. That'll be an interesting game when Michigan goes. I think they go to Northwestern for that game. That'll be a little tough. We got Ohio State will obliterate Rutgers. Again, game 2 of Urban Meyer's suspension. So Ohio State will roll them. I have Colorado beating Nebraska. Colorado kind of surprised me. They played very well against Colorado State. Colorado State won their first game. Then Colorado State lost to Colorado. And now Nebraska had to wait an extra week. So, to be fair, they got no video footage on their plays at all. Scott Frost there will officially kick off barring weather cancellation again. But I'm picking Colorado to go into Nebraska and win that game. Maryland over Bowling Green. Maryland showed some true character last week. I did not think they were going to beat Texas. They played great. To admit, again, they had weather delays, and that seemed to really help Maryland more than Texas. Texas kind of lost their rhythm. That's how the game goes. That's what you need. Honestly, when Michigan was playing Notre Dame last week, I was hoping for a weather delay because Michigan was playing so poorly. If we could just have a half an hour weather delay, then you go sit inside for a little bit, and then you get to come out and warm back up. That would have been great, but it didn't happen. So, Maryland over Bowling Green. I have Indiana beating Virginia. Indiana's a tough team. They've been really tough to Michigan lately. Honestly, they're the number 5 team in the Big Ten East. They always play Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State. They play them really tough. So Indiana's a really up-and-coming team, but they just can't seem to quite get over that hump into the top echelon. So I pick Indiana to win that game. Obviously, Penn State over Pitt, some interstate game there. Those are pretty bitter rivals, so I expect that game to be pretty close. And Michigan State going out to Arizona State. I go with the Spartans. Just something about it. D'Antonio gets his team up for these games. Another thing, it's if they lose that game on the road, Michigan fans would be screaming all bloody murder about how Michigan State can't win on the road either. So I guarantee you, D'Antonio is telling his coaches, we got to win. No one thinks we're going to win on the road here. Then we can stick it to Michigan again. Hey, that is his MO. Anything to get into Michigan, poke Michigan any way you can. And it works for him. It works. Did you guys hear about that story where they got their championship rings for winning their bowl game. I can't remember what bowl it was. And on the ring, they put down the score of 14-10 for the Michigan State game victory. Not the bowl game that they won. They put down the score for the Michigan State game. I just got to tell you, D'Antonio, I respect him. He's a great coach, and I tell you what, that is the thing to do to get under people's skin. All right, so that's the Big Ten. And there's 2 games between top 25 teams. Georgia at South Carolina, going with Georgia. And then Stanford hosting USC. Again, that's Saturday night, 8:30 Eastern time. So it's kind of on the edge of that night game thing. I'm going to go with Stanford. I really was thinking about USC, but it's hard to know these West Coast teams. I don't stay up to watch them. So I don't know how they'll look. So I'm going with Georgia and Stanford. Now moving on to the NFL. I was thinking, if I would have done this video last night, I was thinking I was going to take Atlanta over Philly. But I didn't get a chance to do this video. So yay, I got saved. I got saved one wrong pick. I'm going to do New England over Houston. That one might just be with my heart. Because you have New England, who has like only 3 wide receivers who even practiced with Brady during the preseason. They're injured all over the place. Houston was a great team last year. And then Watson got hurt, Watt got hurt. They're both back healthy. I would not be surprised if Houston goes in there and blows them out, plays really well, just like Kansas City did last year in the season opener. They went in there on that first Thursday night and just, dominated New England. I would not be surprised if Houston did that. But I'm going to pick New England, probably because I'm a Michigan Brady homer a little bit. Definitely if it was at Houston, I'd go totally for Houston. Next, Sunday night game. Green Bay over Chicago. I just don't see the Green Bay defense giving Mitch Trubisky much on offense. True, they got Khalil Mack on defense, but he's been out all preseason. You got to get into shape. You're not just going to go beat these guys so easy when you have been sitting around just, even working out. It's not the same as doing practice reps against offensive linemen and such. So, Khalil Mack, he'll be a force later probably when they play Detroit. Expect him to probably get like 5 sacks in that game. But this week, Aaron Rodgers will prove that he's like maybe the best quarterback in the league. It's him or Brady or Breeze. Take your pick. He's definitely one of the top 3. And I think they're going to torch good old Chicago. Monday night, Lions versus the New York Jets. If the Detroit Lions lose this game, forget the whole season. Look at it. They got a rookie quarterback on the road who has no quality wide receivers. Who's he going to throw to? Who? I know the Lions have no line on offense or defense, so he's probably going to have time. But he's going to have no one to get open. The Lions secondary is actually pretty decent. You got Darius Slay and whatever the other guy is. I don't really know. But they got good coverage guys out there. So I don't think he's going to be able to get it done. I think Sam Darnold's not going to get it done. I expect the Lions to probably win by 10, maybe even 17 points. What I've been hearing about Matt Patricia is that they weren't really working on scheming against other teams. They were just working on stuff. That's my hope. Because I tell you what, the Lions looked terrible in like every first half. When any starter played, they looked just putrid. Putrid. But you know what? Those games didn't matter. They were preseason. So, I'm picking the Lions to win on Monday night. Now, overall, for the Lions, I didn't think I said what I thought the Lions would do. I think they'll go 7-9 this year. 1-1 versus the Bears. 0-2 versus Minnesota, 0-2 versus Green Bay. As usual, the Lions get to go to Lambeau Field for the last game of the year. They just love putting the Lions in the frigid tundra, the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field in December/January. They just love it. They've just been putting Detroit there so often. I don't know why, but they just love to have Detroit go there. Like, why can't we play in Lambeau Field in October? No, we got to go there in December. Like, oh, that's what it is. So I think they'll go 7-9, a little worse record than they had last year under Jim Caldwell. But I think things are on the right track with Matt Patricia. He's just got to get the team going the way he wants, get another draft under his belt. I'm hoping the running game will actually be pretty good. I'm hopeful for that, but we'll see, because you need to have offensive line do that. Let's see how it looks. So, those are my picks for the week. I'll keep track and let you know next week how I did, and of course, cumulative, how we're doing. If you think you know different, what's your prediction about Michigan, Michigan State, the Lions? What do you think is going to happen? Any other of these big games? Put it in the comments below. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you really like it, subscribe. Thanks. And as always, go blue, and I'll see you guys next week.